Hey YouTube, Jolly Green here. Today I want to show you how to make your skate shoes last up to 3 to 4 times longer. And the reason how I discovered this is because when I started skating in the 80s, they used to make airwalk high tops for skating in, but the skating shoes since then moved away from high tops and big bulky shoes. But I like skating in high top and bulky shoes, and I do some pretty technical tricks, but I like the protection that it gives. I like the way it feels on my ankle, and I just like the construction of high tops, and the airwalks were the most comfortable things back in the day. Well, they do have these airwalk prototype reissues, which were, I think, cost me around $80. And which is much too expensive for me as a skate shoe, but they feel so comfortable and so great. It's something I wanted to skate in and experience again. So, of course, I don't do a bunch of ollieing. Here's my lead foot, my left foot, because I'm regular footed, and you see there's hardly no ollie wear at all. If there anything, I've been doing a lot of underflips, so there's some underflip damage up on top and then some stitching and stuff. But mostly what happens is the soles of these wear out. So I'm going to show you how to fix that and make your shoes last a lot longer. And then you can fix all the stuff up here too. Actually, if you just like a pair of shoes and you want to keep skating them and you don't have the money to, and they're expensive shoes, then you can just do what I'm doing here. But this will be the second time that I'm repairing the soles because I've already worn through the soles and then I've got some wear, so I'm going to fix that too. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing I want to do, now if this is your second time resoling, then you'll want to come in and cut off the excess flappage. I'm not going to remove the last sole, which I could, but I'm not going to want to do that. I'm going to just go right over what's already there. Everything else seems to be secure. Maybe a little bit here I could pull off where it's flapping just a little, but for the most part, everything stayed secure. So that's going to be good for the right shoe. And for the left shoe, I'm going to pull off this little flap where it's worn through to the original sole, just right here, and the back a little bit where it's come up. It's harder to stick to the back because it bends up. So anyway, I'll show you that when we get to it. All right, so there I've cut away all the other portions of the sole. Now, what you'll need also for this is some shoe goo. And I have the remainder and a new package, the remainder of the last one that I did. So that's about how much it took for one resoling of these airwalks. You'll need a Sharpie, paper towel, some duct tape. I got this plastic spreader in case I need it. I didn't use that last time though. And then you'll need a Resoling Sheet. Of course, I've already used part of this before, and now I'm going to do it for this one. Now this tread goes this way, so I'm going to want to line up the shoes long ways this way. Though, I guess it really doesn't matter. But just the way they were designed. So I'm going to tuck the laces in here. You'll also need a Sharpie if I didn't mention that. And you'll want to press down your shoe and get it as close to an edge as you can so as not to waste any more of the soling sheet. Now I got this on Amazon. All right, I'm gonna pick it up and see if I got it. And I did. So that was my left foot. I'm gonna take and tuck the laces in here again. So they're not in my way. I just had to lift this portion up right here because the shoe's sagging a little bit so I can get an accurate trace. So you might have to pinch the shoe. It's partially because this needs repair. This needs repair right here. So it's making the shoe fall a little bit right here. And probably the way that I put my weight on my foot. But they're worn in pretty good. All right. So now I just traced this in black, but now I have a pretty accurate trace of what's going to go on my shoe. Actually, I got 2 lines in the back here. I want to make sure I'm correct. All right, yeah, you can just always just put it back down and make sure if you see an area where you could have gotten a better trace, then just put it down and redo it, because you'll want to do the inside unless you slipped under the shoe. But now, I just cut out the soling sheet. All right, so now we have 2 soles to put on the bottom. So, all right, after you get your soling sheets, you want to prep them a little bit for gluing. And I just have a sanding block. You can take some sandpaper here and just sort of rub it over. I guess if you don't have any of that, you could take it and rub it across the top of your grip tape just to rough up the edge and give the glue a slight bit of more to stick to, even if it's microscopic. You know, gluing is all about surface area, and getting this a little bit roughed up gives it a little bit more surface area and a little bit more stuff for the glue to cling to. So you'll want to do this to each tread, and then you'll want to wipe that off, any dust that it was created from it, which it probably won't be much. I see you can't even see, but it feels different now. This one feels rough, and this one's still very slick. So I'm going to take it and just, like I said, you could do this across your grip tape if you don't have any sandpaper. It's mostly dust from the sandpaper rather than the sanding block rather than the shoes, but now it feels rougher. So also, if you might need to do this to the bottom of your shoe. I'm gonna just hit the slick area because this has got plenty of surface area because it's tread. Right, and you'll want to make sure it's as clean as possible. I have something in the tread there. All right, and let's see. Do the same to this one. All right, So put the laces back down in there. All right, take this here. Okay. Maybe I should have brought the pliers with me. There we go. So you're just going to put it all over. I'll use the other shoe to prop it up. I won't be able to do that on the next one. But the tube will be easier to squeeze on the next one also, because I'm near the end. Once you get the shoe goo squeezed down to a certain portion, you're going to want to start rolling it up really tightly and nicely so you can get all the shoe goo right out of the tube. All right. All right, get a little bit on the knuckle there. All right, once you get that done, you're gonna wanna put it on. That's not the one. So, you're going to want to put it on there as straight as you can get it. But while it's wet, you can of course adjust it around. In fact, it will slip around. So you want to press it to it as much as you can. And then take some duct tape and just go and tape it around the shoe to secure it. I'm going to put a couple of strips here to keep it straight and attached and aligned where I want it. If you get shoe goo on anything, as long as it's not fabric, it will clean up pretty easily. So just make sure you're doing it on a hard surface and nothing you're going to mess up. All right, so what you want to do is make sure that it's around the edges. So just make sure it's pushed close, and then you can secure the duct tape. If you push up, you can secure the duct tape a little more, which I had to do in that one spot. Okay, so I need a little bit on the front, and then I'm going to go around the whole thing with duct tape. You'll see. So take it right there. Right up. I'm going to push down on it again. So I probably need to do the same thing on the back there. Okay, pull this one tight. The shoe goo pushed out a little bit. It's going to form the heel a little bit because I could have cut it a little bit longer and wrapped it. You'll have to, your shoe sort of does this, especially after it's worn in, so you might want to make it a little longer if you want it to wrap over the edge. It's not really important because it's going to be a little higher. For me, it's not that important. Okay, so this is what you do. Get you a strip and just sort of go around the outside, but don't press it. Just press it to the shoe portion, not the sole yet. And then you can tear it off. Oh. So I'm just pulling it. I'm just sticking it to the shoe portion. Now I'm going to push down and bring it over all the way around. Pushing down the sole and then pulling the duct tape right over, holding it tight to the edge. So, just like that. Now I'm going to take a little strip and do this right around the front of the shoe. So now I'm pushing it, sticking it to the sole, pushing it in as much as I can get it. There we go. Another strip. Just stick it to the shoe. I think I got too much on the shoe, but that's okay. It can still work. All right. So that's pretty much it. One shoe done. Now I do have a repair that I need to make right here. So I think I can do that. See if I can squeeze a little bit more out. All right. And I got something. All right, we're done with this one. I'm gonna set it out of the way. All right. Now, with the shoe goo and the soling sheet, and by the way, it's S-O-L-E, sole, so soling sheet. You can find on Amazon. I bought just a sheet, but they also sell them that are already cut out like this, but I wear a size, it says that it's up to a size 13 shoe, but this might be a fatter shoe, and this is a 13, so I didn't want to chance it. I got enough for two, and the two packages of shoe goo for $35, which will make resole these shoes 2 times. So it's really extending. For $100, it's like I'm wearing 3 pair of Airwalks and wearing through 3 pair of Airwalks instead of it being 1 pair for $70 or $80 actually. You get the point. course, I also have to count my time. Okay, so this one is a little easier because I don't have to do it out in big lumps. Because I'm squeezing it, I can just... Alright, just line this up the best I can. Of course, you can always trim it afterwards. After it's dry, you can just go around with a razor blade, just like you would grip tape, and then cut off any excess that you need to cut off. So, super easy in that respect. Alright, there it is. I'm going to press it down all over. I want to tape it here first. This side's fine, so let's pull it over to this side. So, while I'm doing it, I need a little bit of shoe goo right here. So, okay. So I'm going to use this piece to also secure the leather right there that I needed to glue. So hopefully that can do both jobs sufficiently. Also need a little bit right there, so I'm going to tuck some in there. I'm sticking it up underneath. I'm just going to pull that up. Oop. I'm going to open that up, so I'm going to let it fall in there and then pull it over. Yeah, that's a little too much right there. I'm going to smear it this way. And just pull the duct tape over it. Hopefully that will push it to where it needs to stick. All right. Now that that's done, boom, we can go around the outside. Stick it to the shoe portion. Now the duct tape I'm using is sort of crappy duct tape, which makes it more difficult to stick, and you have to use more, but it also doesn't stick as well, so it's easier to pull off and doesn't leave as much duct tape adhesive on your shoe. Yes, I'm holding my breath while I do this. Why? I don't know. Guess it's because it's so exciting. All right, so I have a little gap right here. I can see if I push on it, I get a little bubble. So I'm going to take, if you see any areas like that, just secure them up by pulling on that and then sticking it up. See, now that is pulled tighter. So we'll make sure that it will stick. So the same could be said for this side. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the bottom there, pull it up, and bam. Now, I still have to go around the front. All right, you'll probably want it to be curling up in the front. See how? So I've got enough force on there to pull it up, and in the back too. That's one thing you'll want to watch out for. So there you have it. I'm going to let these sit around for 24 hours before I pull the tape off. And then I'll pull the tape off and probably put them out in the sun to let them heat up a little bit and dry just a little bit more before I skate them. But they'll be ready to skate. They'll be ready to skate by tomorrow midday. This is the morning. So, and I'll probably be skating them tomorrow because of that. But anyway, that's it. If you're cheap like me, or you're a do-it-yourselfer like me, or you have some expensive skate shoes that you don't want to to ruin prematurely, or you want to make them last as long as you can, like me, then this is a solution. I never saw I've never seen anybody actually do this. It just came to me because I'm so cheap that I didn't want to mess up these airwalks, but I really wanted to skate in some comfortable high top shoes. So anyway, I'm sure other people have obviously resoled shoes. They sell soling sheets online, but I've never seen this as far as skateboarding, people throwing another sole on their skate shoes. But I have to tell you, since I've already done it once, it worked great, and it was almost no difference between the shoe tread that I wore through to begin with and the soling sheet that I put on. There was, at the end it started flapping a little bit, that excess that I cut off at the beginning, but other than that, and that wasn't really annoying either. I was still able to skate in it. It was still protecting the shoe. So at any rate, I'll probably be able to get one more use after these out of these. I'm out of soling sheet, but I do have a pair of Van Pros that started coming apart on me with the sole completely intact, which tends to happen to me if I skate in Vans. That's why I can't skate in Vans, even though they're high tops, but they have such little protection. It's not really a high top to me. At any rate, the Van sole is probably what I'll put on these next, because I kept those. So if you have some shoes that fell apart before, grab the soles and keep them, and then you can glue them on to the shoes that you want to preserve later. So maybe I'll make a smaller video showing when I do that. But anyway, hope you learned something from this the video that I made, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that it helps you extend the skate life of your shoes. Like I said, you can get either the soling sheet, which we're able to do two. Your foot might be small enough that you could get 3 out of it, or if you wanted the tread to turn the other way, you probably could get 3 out of that soling sheet that I bought. But also they sell it in the shape of shoe. You just glue it and then trim it afterwards to the shape that you need. But anyway, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos, skate videos, and I'll see you next time, YouTube. Thanks. Bye.